We're keeping an ear on that news conference, Jacob. We've also been showing people, and we saw this over the course of the last 24 hours, these other smaller fires. You've got the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire. Last night you saw the Sunset fire in the Hollywood Hills. And now at Bell Canyon, another brush fire has popped up too, Jacob. This is the whack-a-mole game that firefighters are playing.
Yeah, it's northwest of where I am, Hallie, from Pacific Palisades. And like you said, it's just another one of these wildfires that continues to pop up here all across the Southland, as we call it. And, just to reiterate, as you heard from the officials there and as we've been talking about for the last couple of days, this really has been a tinderbox ready to go. We have not had very much rain here in Southern California over the past 6 months or so, and it was preceded by about 2 years of a relatively heavy rainfall for us. The vegetation has been lush. You can see just a corner of that eucalyptus tree, I know, behind me. There's a lot of that all over Southern California. This is a landscape where we coexist with nature. That's the beauty of Los Angeles. But you live in the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains, or you live in the Los Angeles Basin, as it's called, or you might even live down by the coast. And most places around here will abut some form of the natural landscape. And so with all of that dry vegetation, with hurricane force winds coming here to LA, something that I don't think any of us who have lived here as native or lifelong residents could ever have anticipated, it has led to the situation that we find ourselves with now. But at least a little bit of good news in terms of the response, that not only has the wind died down temporarily, but that the federal government will be stepping up in terms of the recovery effort that may very well end up costing many, many billions of dollars.
We also know, Jacob, you talk about this scope and scale of this as we talk about this one that has popped up now. They're calling it the Kenneth fire. Again, small fire, but there is now in literally the last, I want to say 5 minutes, not even, a mandatory evacuation order that has been put in place for some people there. I think it's around the Oak Park area. They were under an evacuation warning previously. It's in this area sort of near Burbank Boulevard, et cetera, in this neighborhood up by Bell Canyon. Can you talk to us? I know you're familiar with the area. Do you have a sense of, like, is this a heavily populated neighborhood? Is this, what's the landscape like there?
The way that LA County works is that there are many cities within Los Angeles County that are incorporated. They have their own municipal governments. They have their own police forces in many cases. They have their own first responders. And then there are areas that are known as unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County because they don't have that sort of local organized governance. And Bell Canyon is one of those unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, which means it relies on the services of the agencies of the Los Angeles County Fire Department and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. You just saw the sheriff there speaking at the news conference earlier. There are people that live in all of these places, but they don't have the same mirroring sets of governmental infrastructure to respond in a situation like this, which is why I think it's so important, this mutual aid type of situation for the people that live there in Bell Canyon. It's not as populated as, let's say, the Palisades, with 23,000 people, but it's its own community there in the Santa Monica Mountains. People have heard of Calabasas. Just more towards the coast through the Malibu Canyon is Malibu. All of these areas are, as the crow flies, not all that far away from one another, but they're through literal mountain ranges. And that's, again, part of what makes this so dangerous and so deadly, is that on the left-hand side of your screen, you're seeing all that vegetation up there near Bell Canyon in the mountains. And it makes this extraordinarily difficult because once this starts, it's hard to put out. But luckily, those super scoopers have been flying, just about a mile towards the Pacific Ocean to the west of where I am, picking up water on a routine basis from the ocean, flying back here over inland and able to extinguish these hot spots as they come up. That's what happened in the Hollywood fire, in the Sunset fire, last night in Hollywood. And hopefully that's what will happen here in Bell Canyon in a short amount of time.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.